Man, you already know what it is, man. It's Not for Loser Sports Podcast, unfiltered, unscripted, real takes, high stakes, and I am one half of the dynamic duo. They call me the Fresher, and this is my co-host.
Sunny Boulevard, man. I'm back, chat. I know I was gone for a minute, but I'm back. Holla at me, man. I'm here to get right with y'all, man. It's a lot of topics, a lot to cover, man.
You already know, man. Give us a round of applause. Okay, before we get into today's episode, I can't even get it out. We would like to thank our subscribers, everyone who's liked, share, and subscribed to the channel. We would like to give y'all a round of applause as well. As y'all can see on the screen, me and Sunny Boulevard will be covering the NFC West. Sunny Boulevard, where you want to start? Who you want to start with, man?
I'm happy to be back, chat. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, we happy you back too, man.
I got a lot to say. We're going to start with the team that got the least amount to say about. So I figure in this division right now, the team the least talk about is the Arizona Cardinals. Not that they don't got a lot going on or that they, no high hopes, but from what I've seen, it's just not a whole bunch. So right off the top, a couple questions that we would ask each other or that we would ask you, chat, is Kyler Murray ready? They continuously keep building around him, building as far as the offense, building the defense, building the coaching staff. Is your franchise quarterback ready? What you think?
I actually like Kyler Murray. I believe the first half of his career was torn up by Cliff Kingsbury. Now, Cliff Kingsbury.
You blaming Cliff?
No, I'm just saying Cliff Kingsbury is not a head coach. That's all I'm saying. Now, he has had successful runs with quarterbacks as being like a quarterback coach, but as far as being a head coach, a leader of men, he had not proven himself. And I believe that's where Kyler Murray hit a standstill.
I don't blame Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know if Kyler Murray good enough.
Are you out of your mind?
I don't know if Kyler Murray good enough.
Why you think Kyler Murray ain't good enough?
What he did in high school. I believe he got to where he got to. What else he did in high school? Playing football in Texas, winning 3 state championships back to back. He's still running his car off that fuel.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Listen, if we started out with a Lamar Jackson saying switch positions, again, as you said yourself, you're trying to figure out why didn't the memo get passed out to Anthony Richardson. Yeah. Why didn't Kyler Murray get the memo?
Nah, Kyler Murray is a quarterback.
Kyler Murray has the mindset of a quarterback. I'll give him that. He looks like he want to win. He want to make a play, but can he? Has he?
Yes. Do you remember Kyler Murray when he had DeAndre Hopkins when he still was semi in his prime and Christian Kirk and what?
Oh, that whole everything was overrated. Good names, you throwing out good names?
No, that was man. They was very, very successful, man.
No, thank you.
You don't think so?
No, thank you.
You want to go to
Murray looked the part as far as his decision making. He don't look like he's trying to lose you the game. That's the most I could give him.
All right, so listen. In a downward spiral year, right, chat, Kyler Murray had a 68.8 completion percentage, 3,851 yards. He averaged 226 yards per game, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He was sacked 30 times, man. So what do you feel about those numbers from last year?
Being sacked 30 times as a mobile quarterback, correct?
I mean, but he's a mobile, but he's small though, man.
Okay. We get right down to the point. I ain't even have to mention it. Too small.
No, it's not. Listen. He is small, chat, but
tiny. He's tiny.
No, he's tiny.
He's smaller than small.
But
Lamar Jackson is small. Kyler Murray is tiny.
I still think Kyler Murray can be. I'm not even gonna say he could be a franchise quarterback. But he could be a starting quarterback in this league. He proved himself
next to Lamar Jackson, shoulder to shoulder. Not literally shoulder to shoulder, but still right next to him.
Okay.
Tiny, small. Kyler Murray is even smaller. I was surprised to see how small Lamar Jackson really was in stature, grown man. NFL starting quarterback, high caliber, high elite quarterback. I was surprised to see how small he really was.
So,
I can only imagine standing next to Kyler Murray.
all right. So basically, you feel like you
Overrated.
he's overrated to you.
Overrated.
He's
Hands
not
down.
he's not. Is he a great? Let's put it like this: is he a top 10 quarterback in this league?
No. Top 20.
I think he top 15. I won't say top 20.
Okay, I got to put you to that. Who's not better than him? Give me a name.
Geno Smith.
I'm taking Geno over.
Man, you out of your mind, man. Are you out of your mind?
We're going to get to that because this is a divisional matchup, so I want you to remember the numbers.
Okay.
Geno is all about the stats.
Let's run down the quarterbacks real quick. In Miami, you taking him or Tua Tagovailoa?
I'm taking Kyler Murray.
All right.
He's more durable than Tua.
We know you taking Josh Allen, right?
I'm taking Josh in Wyoming over him, but go ahead, though.
Is you taking right now Drake May over Kyler Murray?
I'm taking Drake May over Kyler right now.
Nah, I can't do that. I mean, Drake May shows promise.
I need somebody that can get the job done as a quarterback first. I see Kyler Murray getting the job done maybe as a slot receiver, maybe as a running back, but Drake May guarantees me to get the job done throwing the ball as a quarterback, what I need him to do. Go ahead. Who else you got?
Justin Fields or Kyler Murray?
That's a good one. I'm going Kyler Murray.
All right. So
more established. He's got a better mind, more of a winner.
Okay, so we already know we're going to wipe out Joe Burrow.
I got one for you. Aaron Rodgers or Kyler Murray?
Man, Kyler Murray, you out of your mind? Aaron Rodgers is done. He's a bum.
I'm going to A-Rod.
Oh, man, yo, chat.
I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, he been on vacation for too long, man.
I'm happy to be back.
Yo, all right, so look. All right, look. Bo Nix or Kyler Murray?
Man, I like this. It's a 26 and under league, man. Give me both. I like the young guys. You throwing out the wrong names. Bryce Young or Kyler Murray?
Man, Kyler Murray, man.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm taking. Yo, listen. Murray. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm taking Kyler Murray over Brock Purdy, man. That's a fact. I'm taking Kyler Murray over Brock Purdy, man.
It's tough to answer that one, even though I'm gonna take Kyler too. But I only say that because of the idea of what Kyler would be in a Shanahan offense.
So, all right.
So I know it sounds like an oxymoron, chat, but rock with me. A Kyler Murray in a Kyle Shanahan offense, that's what I'm thinking when I hear that. So I would take Kyler too.
All right. Kyler Murray or Sam Darnold?
Right now, Sam Darnold.
Man, you out of your mind, man. Yeah, right now. Yo, listen, man. Kyler Murray's resume is way longer than Sam Darnold's.
It's not about a resume. What have you done for me lately?
I mean, so you're not going to...
Is it an argument that right now what you've done for me lately, Sam Darnold not the better quarterback?
I mean, I just gave you Kyler Murray numbers, man.
So last year, who would you rather have that quarterback? Last season, who would you rather have that quarterback last season? Sam Darnold or Kyler Murray?
I still would rather have Kyler Murray. You know why? Sam Darnold had all the pieces in play for him to be successful.
Okay, give Kyler those same pieces. You see him doing way better numbers than what Sam did?
Hell yeah, man. You give Kyler Murray, Justin Jefferson, man, you out of your Jordan Addison.
Okay, I got a rebuttal for that, chat. He arguably got that right now. Let's see what he do. He got a young Marvin Harrison Jr. who's Justin Jefferson.
Okay, so what did Marvin Harrison do last year? Hold on, I'm glad you brought him up.
He's of the echelon. He should get to where Justin Jefferson is at. That is the ceiling of a Marvin Harrison.
All right, chat.
So what we got? Kyler got options. They built them for him.
All right, so he brought up Marvin Harrison Jr. His numbers last year, he had 62 receptions, he had 62 receptions, 885 yards. He averaged a little under 15 yards per catch, 8 touchdowns, and that sums up.
You're forgetting something.
What?
He was a rookie.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what
So that's rookie season stats.
No, I'm not saying nothing bad about Marvin Harrison.
What I'm saying though is this is another piece, and we speaking Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold, as far as what Sam Darnold did last year with the Vikings. You get a Marvin Harrison Jr. who's going to give you Justin Jefferson production. I'm not sure who's there too. Who will be the second biggest receiver in that offense for the Cardinals? Their whole offense escapes me. I only know maybe 2 names. James Conner, another name. We'll get to him.
I'm looking at it, chat. Probably the tight end, Trey McBride.
Okay, Trey. There's another one. I'm sorry, I said Zach Ertz. It's not Zach Ertz. Trey McBride. Okay. So
Yeah,
so so you figure two good pass catchers, two
and
valid options.
Trey McBride had 111 receptions last year.
Trey's that guy at the tight end spot. He's a receiver playing tight end.
Yeah, he was quiet. He was sneaky good. That's
Okay.
because the Cardinals ain't make no noise, man.
So again, less excuse going to the tight end spot for Kyler.
Listen, man, I think the Cardinals still are a few pieces away. Their defense is not as good as it once was. Like Buda Baker used to be one of the top safeties in the league. He's no longer that anymore. Buda Baker is average now. But I don't see nothing on yo chat. I'm looking at I don't see nothing.
So right off the top, chat, Arizona is one of those teams that we expected to fill it up this year. So some of the huge names, that they decided to throw at the roster: Josh Sweat, defensive end; Mykal Walker, linebacker;
Okay.
Akeem Davis Gaither, that's another linebacker.
All right.
They came Cody Simon, they came Jordan Burch, Denzel Burke as far as cornerback. Who else? Who am I forgetting here? Oh, Jake Curhan, that was on the offensive line. All of these pieces are Kyler Murray specific. No excuses. No excuses. Locked in the veteran guy on that offense, that the one guy they can count on, James Conner. No excuses. So if he's as good as Fresh is saying that Kyler Murray is, as far as just talent, because we're not even really talking about numbers. He hasn't done anything this year. So if he's as good as he say he is talent-wise, what do we expect with this roster, with the hope, with the build?
Now, see, chat, y'all heard what Sonny Boulevard said. This is what I be talking about. With every other quarterback, it's no excuses, but for some reason, Trevor Lawrence get all the excuses in the world. I just had to state that for the record, man. This is what I'm talking about. No other quarterback, you can't.
See, I wasn't here to speak on that. It's zero excuses for Trevor.
Yeah,
not the golden boy, not the prince, none of the above in my book. No excuses coming from me for Trevor Lawrence. I do believe that it's a roster thing. It's all about where you get drafted to. I see Trevor going a lot higher, a lot faster with a different team. Jacksonville just wasn't the team. With the hype he had coming from Clemson out of college, Jacksonville wasn't the team. It instantly deflated him. And he's been trying to build back up from there. So I don't second there's an excuse out there for Trevor Lawrence. So let's just,
all right, so we know they got a solid running back in James Conner, man. James Conner is a beast, man.
Great running back.
Yeah,
solid veteran piece on that offense.
He took like 3 steps forward once he left Pittsburgh, man.
And that's 1,000 yards. I'm not sure how many games he missed, but that's 1,000 yards. He was splitting the carries. And in the offense where the quarterback runs, Kyler does, a lot of what he want to do. So he still squeaked 1,000 yards out of that. Like Fresh did already say, 1,000 yards isn't really a milestone. I 50-50 agree with that. I say that to say it's a milestone in those teams that still prioritize running the ball. It's not a milestone. Well, it's not a milestone in those teams that prioritize running the ball. It's a milestone when you know this is a team that don't really run it. That's what I would say. So, Saquon Barkley, that was a milestone in him hitting that because they got great receivers on that team, but they also got a great offensive line. So if you look at a team like James Cook, you would expect him to have 16 touchdowns, right? It's not like he got 16 touchdowns because he barely got the ball. He had to make it, out of 18 touches, he got those 16. You know what I mean? So when you look at a team like the Cardinals, James Conner, he's going to get 1,000 yards because, in his sleep, basically. They feed him the rock and get an offensive line, man, they're looking at a 1,600-yard guy.
So, listen, I didn't expect James Cook to get 16 touchdowns. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to reflect on that route. I just didn't expect him. That's a high output from James Cook. But James Conner had 8 touchdowns. He had 8. They ran him into the ground, though. He had 236 carries.
Why would you not expect a James Cook to get 16 touchdowns in an offense where not a whole bunch of big plays? We get down on the goal line a lot.
Yeah, because on the goal line they always do the Josh Allen shove. I don't expect James Cook to get 16. That's high, man.
I wouldn't expect a receiver on our team to get 16 touchdowns. I would expect a running back potentially. Would you expect a receiver on the Bills roster to get 16 touchdowns?
Hell no.
Super no. Which one is even less expected? That's the 16 touchdowns rushing, or would a receiver getting that be even less expected?
To me, it's like neck and neck, man.
I would believe that if a receiver for the Bills, a wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, had 16 touchdowns, or even a receiver for the Bills that was 1,500 plus receiving yards, that's like, whoa.
I would
1,500 yard rusher for the Bills, and I would just say, because 16 was, pushing the token, but let's just say a 12 plus touchdown guy. 1,500 rushing yards plus, or 12 plus. I would expect that from somebody in Buffalo if that happened. So I wouldn't be surprised about that. So let's get back on tax, chat. James Conner, like I said, great vet piece for that room. After that, the rookies is guys that Marvin Harrison's a huge name, but can't name a guy behind that. After James Conner, can't name a guy behind that. If we just think about some of the notable pieces as far as the quarterback room, not really moving anything. I don't see anything that's really moving. So
they signed receiver. They signed Zay Jones. They added Zay Jones to the receiver core. Yeah, he don't move no needles.
No, thank you on that. They had about a handful of plays with the Raiders, and then got off the boat again. So
they added Calais Campbell to the defensive line on a 1-year contract.
I think Calais just turned 50. Is he 50 this year?
Hell no. Hell no, that ain't 50. He'd be the Moses of the league, man. But I think Calais Campbell still has a little bit of gas left in his tank, man. He's not the same Calais Campbell that we know.
I don't think it's about what he got less physically. I think it's about what he can teach. So
yeah,
I'm not mad at him wherever he goes and how long he stick around.
So they lost Patrick Peterson. He retired. They lost him. Patrick Peterson.
Come on now, Pat the GOAT in my book. Pat one of the GOATs. One of the most
Pat, I liked it, Patrick
One
Peterson.
of the most exciting guys on that side of the ball, special teams. Yeah, he was definitely one of my guys in the last 15 seasons.
So look, they solidified the offensive line. Jeremiah Byers, offensive line, Josh Fryer.
Mm-hmm.
They added another receiver in Bryson Green.
Jake Curhan, which is a good name. Good guy for that offensive line.
They I don't know, Sonny.
Hayden Conner got a 4-year deal out of them. That was a good signing. Like I said, all building for Kyler Murray is building his way.
Yeah, and that's why I think they're gonna finish second to last in that division, man. I still think listen, they are not a solid team yet, but they have some good foundational pieces at this point.
We'll see. Moving along here, chat.
Here we go.
Who we got?
We got the bum Seattle Seahawks, man. Let's go to them bums.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let him go first because I don't got Seattle as bumming it out like he do. So we're going to let him rock out. What we think about, let's start out with what do we see when we think of Seattle? Win or lose? Do we see a winning team? Do we see a lose? Where are we headed? What do we see?
Who they quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
I see a loser.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Now, I got to be honest, chat.
Where? Why?
Because, listen, so we just going to ignore the previous years of Sam Darnold because he had one good season under Kevin O'Connell. Like, come on, man.
What have you done for me lately?
And listen, that doesn't, no.
You can't say both. I can't say what you've done for me lately and care about what you haven't done.
Man, listen, that doesn't.
I don't care about both.
Because
I don't care that he only had one good year. We stacking him.
No, listen. So look, right? Prime example, Geno Smith. Geno Smith was a bust in New York, right? With the Jets. He wasn't a bust. New York is a bust, but go ahead though. But it's the system. Once he fell under Pete Carroll's system, it worked for him. So now Sam Darnold moving to a whole nother system, it's not going to work. We seen Sam Darnold already, man. I'm convinced. So listen, if you see four years of Sam Darnold and you see one good year, so the one good year overshadows the 4 bad years.
I agree.
Yeah, so I
No,
don't.
no, I agree. Those years are shadowed by this one great. It was
Nah,
better than,
man,
first things
nah,
first. You keep saying good. He had a great year.
nah.
It was above average. It was better than good.
All
You can
right,
say it's roster based because he had top receiver, top second receiver, top tight end, great offensive line. You can say all of that is why.
all right.
Great.
I'm gonna let
And
him.
of that, and because of that, I'm gonna say as of right now to start for the Seahawks, he's gonna do it again.
All right, chat. I'll let Sonny finish. Right, the man the bed in the playoff. That's what he did. He resorted back to the old Sam Darnold, man.
That's a team stat.
Oh, now it's a team stat. You see how
That's
this works?
so tell me right now, with the way Minnesota lost in the playoffs, y'all putting that on Sam Darnold? Or
Yes.
did Minnesota coaching staff made some horrible decisions? As much as I love Kevin O'Connell.
Nah, man. Sam Darnold turned
Horrible
back to a
decisions.
pumpkin, man.
Defense couldn't stop nothing. That's a team stat when we talk about win-loss.
All right, so look, we know they got Sam Darnold, right?
Correct.
They also added Cooper Kupp. Now, how you feel about Cooper Kupp? Man?
Good signing. Cooper Kupp still got a little bit left in the tank.
Nah, I think
Isn't their top receiver, so I love them signing him.
yeah. Nah, he ain't go over there with the alpha male mentality. Nah. I don't think Cooper Kupp ever had the alpha male mentality.
No, but he was what he was.
Yeah, that's exactly. He never had that diva mentality, and that's
with the Seahawks. He don't have to be the number one guy. Smith and Jigba are going to be their number one guy.
so.
And they all right with that. 1,100 yards last year, somewhere in the realm of that. They okay with that.
Listen though,
I like them.
Sonny. They lost Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, man.
I'm all right with that. I'm not saying it's okay to lose those good guys, but it's okay that they moved on. It was time for DK to move on. DK wasn't going to win anything left here. It was time for him to move.
Yeah, I ain't like. Yeah,
he did a lot for that receiver room.
Yeah,
and opened up the door for Smith and Jigba, who I believe is
Jigba. He nice.
I promise.
Yeah,
he's ready to be a one.
He had 100 receptions. He had 1,130 yards, man. He's
ready to be a one. I give it to him.
Yeah, nice.
And behind those two, which I would believe is some great learning behind Lockett and Metcalf, that's great learning. He ready.
Yeah.
So you throw Cooper Kupp in there, another vet. It's gonna teach him a few ticks that he may not have learned from DK because it's different body frames can teach you different things. The type of guy Cooper Kupp is coming through the door, it's gonna teach him a few things. So I like them signing him. Huge. I'll take that.
And they still got Noah Fant, man. Noah Fant is a nice,
underrated, solid.
Yeah, he's a solid tight end, man.
Kept Geno in there.
Yeah, I like Noah Fant, man. Noah Fant is a problem.
They signed MVS, which is Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I don't know what to say about him. One thing I will give him is he gonna run straight and run by you. I don't know what else he do after that. I'm not sure if he gonna catch it. Not sure if he gonna even spot the ball. Don't know about none of the above, but I do know he will run straight and try to run right by you. That's the most I see him doing for the Seahawks is trying to stretch the field.
Yeah, he another one I'm not too sure of, man. It seemed like he was only productive with Patty Mahomes, to me, my opinion. But
with his skill set, Andy Reid definitely found a way to, connect with him.
He did start off with Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, though. That's where he came from, though, right?
That's where he got his that's where he learned his little
Yeah. Nah, so I apologize, Chad. He did have some good seasons with Aaron Rodgers over there in Green Bay. He did.
The thing about him is when he played with Josh, he just dropped a bunch of the big ones that he could have, should have caught. Josh was looking for him deep.
Man, he was a bum in Buffalo, man.
He attempted. He wasn't out there enough, and then he dropped the chances that he did have. So I won't blame Buffalo for the reason why he looked like a piece of crap in our jersey.
Yo, they also got it. Yo, listen, that Kenneth Walker III kid. Yo,
I like KW3.
Yo, listen,
anytime you got one of the raw nicknames, I'm rocking with you.
Nah, he's solid.
KW3,
man.
Super solid.
He's solid.
Michigan State boy, correct? I knew he was gonna be what he was gonna be.
Yeah,
he was putting a heavy pain with Michigan State. 3 down back, do it all. I like it.
But I think he's gonna be more productive in his new offense, though, man, because he only had 573 yards last year with 153 carries. It's like he split the carries with the Zach Carbonate.
Charbonnet.
Yeah, Charbonnet. Yeah,
I'm also willing to say he got injured. I'm not sure where near, but he didn't play.
yeah. He played 12 games.
Okay,
You're right.
which matters.
Yeah.
So you figure that's 12 games in an offense that was probably throwing the ball more than they were running. You know, Geno did have 4,300 yards. They throwing the ball more than they
Geno
running.
was launching that joint. I ain't even gonna hold you.
And I believe that Sam Darnold want to do the same thing. Because one thing Minnesota did open him up to do is he's ready to throw the ball. He got a live arm. Sam Darnold coming with a live arm. You can't not have a live arm and you throw into Addison and Jettis. There's no way you don't got a live arm. It's a tight end. The tight end's escaping me right now. It's a tight end over there in Minnesota.
So
I forgot, but yeah, live arm. So
what you think about their defense?
It's a few pieces. So let's go with the defense. So right off the top, we got Shaquille Griffin. We signed him free agent. Seahawks got.
So hold on, didn't he play?
Lawrence.
Hold on, not to cut your knowledge off. Didn't he play for them before he started his career with them? Right? That's the guy that's missing the amputated arm.
No, I think that's
his brother. Oh, all right, yeah.
We got DeMarcus Lawrence. What you think about that?
DeMarcus Lawrence.
I should have retired a Cowboy. Do we have anything left in the tank? What do we think, chat? DeMarcus Lawrence. It's a big name when you hear it.
No, it is a big name when you hear it. It is a big name when you hear it, man. But I mean, he could be highly productive. I believe in that division as well, though, man, because you really don't got no mobile quarterbacks in that division, but Kyler Murray. So you really got to get to the core. You got Brock Purdy and Matthew Stafford. They stationary.
Kyler Murray isn't as much as a threat running because he don't have the blocking help. If he was to get the blocking help, his running would become more of a threat.
Yeah, but he's more of a dual threat quarterback. So every other quarterback in that division is stationary. So DeMarcus Lawrence can be huge.
Who is his counterpart? That's my first question. Who would be DeMarcus Lawrence's counterpart, rush partner? If we can't answer that question, he's not doing nothing.
So you think all the protection gonna slide towards him, right?
Not just that, I just don't think he's scary enough by himself no more.
I don't know, man. What about if they still got the Leonard Williams kid?
Leonard Williams is a new one for them too. What about that edge rusher? Oh, the name is Simmons. Do they still got Simmons?
Let me see.
Did they keep Simmons? That was a big name. He was like a hybrid LBD kind of guy.
At the moment, I don't see him.
Okay, he might have got traded out. Again, this is a roster that I'm not really super fond of.
Yeah, I ain't either though. I ain't either. Yo, any Seattle Seahawks fans in the chat, man, put it in the comment section, man.
Oh, I know a guy. Oh, wait, you know what? He didn't stay there very long. They took Terrell Bernard from us, played one season over. Terrell Dotson. They took Dotson. He got a single digit.
Yeah.
He went over there. What is he playing with, number 2? He had a single digit. Didn't get a contract the next year. So I'm not sure about who they got on that roster as far as defense. I
don't see no like Devon Witherspoon.
The biggest names that I would say that jump right out at you as far as the signing this year would be Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, DeMarcus Lawrence. Everything else after that, they went Josh Jones on the offensive line. It's not really nothing to really talk about there.
They got they sack leader is Jaron Reed. He had 4.5 sacks.
I like Jaron Reed.
Yeah,
I like Reed. That's another name that worked his way through the ranks.
So you pair him with DeMarcus Lawrence.
I like Reed.
Yeah, nice. So his numbers don't jump off the screen. He could have had more sacks than 4.5, but they sack leader. So that's why they went after another D lineman.
I think DeMarcus Lawrence, his name is bigger than his game right now. So.
I mean,
I'm not really worried about that. I don't think nobody in the division is expecting him to move no needles at that spot. At least not anymore. But he gonna do some teaching though.
So we already know the Arizona Cardinals offensive line not solid, right?
Right.
So who else they face in the division? What about the San Francisco 49ers? What about their offensive line? What do you think about their offensive line? We not getting to them, but I want to talk about
that's all up in the air right now. Again, that team is fully unloaded everything they got. They unloaded everything.
I just think in that division though, if you got a solid, This is what Nick Bosa be eating in that division, man. He be eating because you got stationary quarterback. It ain't like you got, like I said, Kyler Murray is the only dual threat. So if you get you some valid pass rushers, some valid edge rushers, you could be successful in this division.
See, right off the top, the Seahawks offensive line is a question. So a lot of young names, unproven people. So right off the top, that's a big question. And a new head coach.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We didn't mention the biggest thing about the Seahawks. So
yeah.
I'm not really sure what to think of what that offensive line
is.
Me
neither.
Is Mike McDonald going to be an offensive or a defensive kind of guy? If in fact he's offensive minded, if in fact that's where that team is going to go.
So they got Byron Murphy the second over there too, defensive tackle. I didn't know he was over there. Man, listen, I predicted
he was an Arizona guy, wasn't
he? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to make of the.
I think they're gonna finish last in that division though, man.
So you got them running behind
Arizona.
Whatever it is, the 49ers to me is the team to take the biggest plunge, paid Brock Purdy, and got rid of everything else. I got them. It's a fight for last in that division.
Nah, man. I think, listen, I agree with Sonny Boulevard. I believe the San Francisco 49ers took a step back, but I still think they the second best team in that division, man.
I think Arizona is the second best team in the division.
Oh, now he want to give Kyler Murray his props, Shaq.
Kyler Murray. I just believe they drafted right. We got to give them their credit for how they drafted. The Arizona Cardinals drafted beautifully. I have to give it to them. They came defensive end, defensive tackle. They loading up that front seven because the secondary is already ready to. For the most part, their secondary is pretty solid. They came Will Johnson. What'd you think about that? Cornerback from Michigan.
Man, I don't watch college football, man.
Cornerback from Michigan.
You do elaborate on that.
Was the guy with the most experience at the cornerback position. I'm not sure how many years in college he played, but a lot of experience. They drafted him. Nobody didn't want him because he had an injury lingering that's going to go into the start of his NFL career. But he was talking big stuff like, I'm going to be that guy. Shouldn't have passed on me. You know those guys that say, I'll remember y'all passed on me. That's the story he telling right now. So it's high hopes on that Arizona defense right now.
Yeah.
So I got them as the second team in that division. And then it's a fight for last between the 49ers and the Seahawks.
Yeah, though, Sonny, you wasn't here.
No, I'm lying.
I don't watch college football.
I got to fight for the bottom between. Yeah, no. Yeah. Because I believe the Rams is the best team in that division. So, I'm gonna go 49ers is the worst team.
Nah, man.
Because I can't.
Nah, bro.
49ers is gonna lose the division. They're gonna be the worst team. Because I can't solidify what the offensive line is going to do for Sam Darnold, even though I believe he can do it and he's ready. I'm not really sure. They're going to lose some games behind that front seven and that defense. I can't name a linebacker that's ready to be productive, so I don't know about that. I'm going to go Rams.
Niners.
Arizona. No, Rams, Arizona, Seahawks, Niners. The Niners it's not there.
Yo.
It's not there. Name one impact player right now on the offense besides Ayuk or Kittle.
Man, how many? You just named two. How many more you want us to name?
Well, those happen to be two guys that didn't get traded. So that's why I said those two.
You forgot Christian McCaffrey still over there? Forgot that?
Christian McCaffrey is one of those up in the air. He hasn't done anything for them yet. Let me say something because we can transition. This is the last team in this division that we need to speak on anyways, but.
No, we got to talk about the Rams.
We didn't talk about the Rams. I completely forgot about them.
Yeah. So
let's transition real quick. Anything else to say about the Seahawks?
No, they trash. Last in the division. You heard it here first from the fresher, man.
Well, I don't really care for the Seahawks, but they're going to make it bite those words in the sense that on paper they got a roster right now. Two quarterbacks.
I mean, we're going to see.
The front four, I don't know about the linebackers, but the front four as far as the defensive line is there. The quarterback room is now there. It's been there, Gino. It's continued to be there. The running back room is there. The wide receiver room is very young, minus Cooper Kupp, but we got some hope. And I believe as far as coach, let's see. So, moving forward, San Francisco 49ers.
All right, what about the Niners? What you want to know about the Niners from my perspective?
Right now, as clear cut as I could possibly be, super done for. Get rid of them. Cleared house. It's over with.
So you don't believe in Kyle Shanahan's system?
I'm losing less and less faith in that system.
Listen.
Starting to believe it was more the guys than it was the fries.
So, right? Chat. We all know Christian McCaffrey went down with an injury last year. Did y'all see the Jordan Mason kid? Yo, Jordan Mason.
I like Jay Mason.
Yo, what?
I like Jay Mason.
So listen, okay, chat. He liked Jordan Mason. So right, you still got Brock Purdy. How do you feel about Brock Purdy? Do you feel like he deserved that contract?
Yeah, he deserved a contract for what he did for them, not up against his counterparts. For what he does for his team, you got to pay.
Yeah, so okay, so they still got Brock Purdy at the quarterback position, right? So, excuse me, chat. So let's say Christian McCaffrey doesn't play football ever again. You throwing Jordan Mason. Is Jordan Mason, from what you seen, a solid running back?
Yes.
From what you seen, he's a solid. Yeah, he
Still
had 789 yards.
Jordan Mason, with what they had where none of the receivers could catch a pass, nobody was really doing anything as far as pass catching, he held it down.
All right, so.
And I want to say he was even receiving out the backfield, too. He held it down.
Now, yo, listen. Jawan Jennings is like the little engine that could for that team, if you ask me, man.
Solid. He was productive.
Man, yo, listen. Jawan Jennings was like Brock Purdy's go-to receiver, quiet as it's kept, man.
I like it. I like what he did.
So, even if George Kittle is on the back nine of his career, right? So, this is your receiving core. You still got George Kittle, Jawan Jennings, Deebo Samuel gone. They expect Ricky Pearsall to take a step forward, and you got Brandon Ayuk.
Young kid Pearsall. I like the young kid Pearsall. Tough. I'm not really sure what's the ceiling there, but I like the young kid Pearsall. Florida boy, so the SEC, get you as ready as you could possibly be for the NFL. So we'll see.
So your question with the 49ers is the offensive line, right?
For right now, yes, 100%. I don't know what to believe with them. So off the top, we got to talk about some of the key pieces that they added. So let me just go through a whole bunch of names and then you just tell me,
all right,
who jumped off the top. So I won't get into too much of the money chat. We just going to go names for now. Mac Jones, Luke Farrell, Demarcus Robinson, Trey Brown, Luke Gifford, Richie Grant, Jason Penix, Saran Neal, Kyle Juszczyk, Kevin Givens, John Weeks. So obvious, the first one that jumped off the page to you.
None of them. Mac Jones.
Yo, listen. So right now, chat, if in fact Purdy had to go down and Mac had to jump in and start, what do we think?
But listen, though. Listen, I think Mac Jones is a bum, but
I disagree.
See, I was about to say that. He had some flashes that was like, yo, Mac Jones is here, man.
Mac Jones could be my backup quarterback any day.
Nah, I would take Mac Jones over Daniel Jones any day. Mac is the better Jones. I would take
Mac over Mitch Trubisky right now. I'm good on Mitch Trubisky.
Nah, but 100%. I like Mitch Trubisky as a backup, though.
I like Mac White. I like Mac White that we got. Mike White. I like Mike White. I don't care for Mitch Trubisky at all. Get rid of him. I would take Mac Jones over him.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't even know why Mac Jones is on the. He had one bad season. What was that? The last year with Bill Belichick's last season as a head coach.
I'm not sure, but
I think Bill Belichick the one that shipped him out, right? It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah,
I forgot his name.
Belichick is the one who didn't really believe that.
Yeah, I think Belichick shipped him out, man.
But
Gerard Mayo was the coach. Yeah, Gerard Mayo. He ain't ship him out. It was Bill Belichick.
They went with a lot of offensive pieces. So another big name that jumped out to me was Luke Farrell at the tight end. Very productive.
What is he? He's a rookie. He's coming into the league, or he's been around for.
No, he's been around for a while.
I ain't never heard of him.
If I'm not mistaken, was with the Colts. Luke Farrell.
Now it's starting to come to me. Yeah, it's starting to come to me.
Very productive tight end, if you ask me. Very productive. So you get rid of receivers, strengthen up on the front line a little bit more, and go 12 personnel is probably where they're going to go. Because I believe him and Kittle could really go crazy.
So I don't understand why you got low expectations for the 49ers, though. Because who did they lose?
It's the defense.
But Debo. But you mean they got the best linebacker in the game, man?
They got one good linebacker.
Fred Warner amounts to 3 linebackers, if you ask. Do you see Fred Warner on that field?
I respect Fred 100%. Top 3.
Oh, my. Yo, listen.
Top 3 in his position, but he don't have enough help anymore. Unfortunately, fortunately, however you want to look at it, what we saw from Fred was because the back 7 or whatever it is behind him, straight dog. Straight lockdown. That is now gone. It's going to be tougher for Fred.
And you know who had a down year? The Hufunga kid. Yo, he had a few years when you like, yo, I
believe that was fool's gold.
It had to be, man. He was looking like Troy Polamalu out there.
Because at the end of last season, he got nothing but cooked. Looked completely lost. That little Troy Polamalu hit was definitely there for about 3-4 weeks, though. When Buddy looked like he was flying.
Yo, listen, the ball. I thought Hufunga had arrived. I'm like, yo, he the next best safety in the league, right?
But again, that's a product of what the front 7 was doing. When your front 7 is beaten down, barreling down the way they were, you got a chance to look like what he looked like for a couple of weeks. Especially if you come dedicated, motivated. So,
do you think they're gonna miss Deebo Samuel?
Of course. Anytime you a gadget guy to that degree, that level of elite with being a gadget, you're gonna miss that.
But you don't think Kyle Shanahan can create another gadget guy?
I don't think he created Deebo.
You don't think?
I'm gonna say no because he didn't create Deebo.
I mean, like I said, Chad, I don't watch college. Did you see Deebo play in college?
I didn't watch Deebo play in college live as far as when he was doing it, but I went back.
Oh no, man! I think Kyle Shanahan is an offensive genius. I think he can create anybody into a gadget, man. For real, man. And Kyle Shanahan has caught a lot of slack because he had some dominant rosters from top to bottom, wasn't able to win a chip. I get it.
See, so like somebody like Deebo Samuel in college playing for South Carolina, I don't know that he even had the same name that he has in the NFL. I don't know that Deebo had that name.
I think he can,
in college. I don't think he did. So a part of what you're saying might be true in the sense that the way Kyle Shanahan unleashed them and was using him is what kind of more solidified his name.
Yeah.
But I still don't think he created the athleticism that we saw, the dedication Deebo played with. So they're going to miss that. They got a real football player. So
Deebo was the one had them coming out with the boom box. Deebo brought an energy to that locker room. That's a fact.
Gone, it's felt.
That's a fact.
You think somebody else is going to pick the boom box up and it don't even give the same vibe. So I'm not sure somebody else is going to pick it up and try to keep that flowing. That's more of a Deebo thing. That was his aura bleeding through. So they're going to definitely miss that.
All right, let's. So what do you think? Is Christian McCaffrey's career over with, man?
Nah, unfortunately, he's too elite to.
He can't stay healthy, man.
Until he's out.
He cannot stay healthy, man. And this is why the Carolina Panthers came up off of him, man.
I wouldn't have if I were them, especially since he went to the 49ers and gave them great stuff in what we do see from him. So CMC is just too good still. Currently, right now, just still too good.
I mean,
it would be like if Saquon was to start getting injured. Still too good.
But listen, though, it wasn't like, this is what I'm saying, though. It still amounted to no championship. Now, look, the Giants can go home and have migraine headaches for weeks because they let Saquon Barkley go, and the next year he won a championship. Carolina let CMC go, and San Francisco still hasn't won a chip.
Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Saquon went somewhere where all he has to do is run the ball.
So
that's it. He don't have to worry about anything. If in fact you can plug Christian McCaffrey into that, I believe he wins the Super Bowl, and it might look the same or better as Saquon.
So
You plug CMC right now with the Eagles as far as last year's line, where that offense was at with Jalen Hurts and how the receiver core played, and all he have to do is just run the ball and just play running back, it might even look better.
So you telling me that the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan didn't have a solid roster from top to bottom while Christian McCaffrey was the running back? So you telling me?
No, the injuries derailed them the entire time, including his. So
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. The Brock Purdy injury, when they was on their way, that Brock Purdy injury jive just.
Yeah, the offensive line injured up left and right. Kittle hasn't been 100% in a while. So to get 1,000 yards out of him, 70 plus catches, that's tough. It just goes to show how tough he is. But yeah, nah, injuries. So I don't believe that the 49ers were 100% at no time for Christian McCaffrey.
Man, they were supposed to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, man.
I disagree.
Nah,
They wasn't ready.
I think
The
they should
quarterback
have
wasn't
won,
ready. I
man.
didn't think Brock was overperforming. A lot of what we saw from Brock was overperforming, 100%.
Nah, Brock wasn't ready, but yeah, I just believe that San Francisco 49ers roster was better than the Kansas City Chiefs.
But
Man.
the quarterback was too far. The gap was too far.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
That's what makes it impossible a little bit. Even though never say never, the gap being that far, it made it way too far.
Yeah, it seemed like that joint was fluky when dude ran off the side. He was another big name linebacker. Remember he ran off and he tore his Achilles running off?
Bowman. It was like the second play or something, right?
I don't know if it was like coming out to the second half.
And it happened like the second. Oh, Greenlaw.
Drake Greenlaw, man. That hurt him, man.
It happened right away. And this is what I mean. Fred didn't look scary after that. So, it's unfortunate. Fred didn't look scary.
Nah, Fred. Yo,
they dissected Fred after.
Listen, I promise you,
they dissected Fred after.
Fred Warner is the best linebacker in the league, man.
I disagree with that. He's the best coverage linebacker.
No, man, I see this man.
He don't tackle the best.
I'm not saying he tackle. But
he don't tackle the best. You name the guy who tackles the best.
The man flies. The man is in on every play. All right, let's look at Fred Warner's stats.
You name the guy who tackles the best at the linebacker spot. Zaire Franklin probably tackles the best at the linebacker spot. Coverage-wise, I like Fred. I can't lie to you. I really like Fred. But minus injuries, I like Milano better. There was a point in time where that argument was there right before the injury. Before the injury, Milano was in that conversation.
Fred Warner had 131 total tackles, man.
That's fine. Total tackles don't really tell a story for me.
Still, that means he was in on 131 tackles.
That's fine. And they got a lot of points scored on him while he was doing that too. So you got to factor in how effective are those tackles.
Yo, did you just say Matt Milano and Fred Warner?
Same conversation for a certain point in time. Look at the numbers. Before Matt Milano's injury, Matt Milano was as elite as a middle linebacker gets.
Nah, man.
100%.
I'm not taking nothing away from Matt Milano, but he couldn't put on Fred Warner cleats, man.
You going off of tackling. What else is Fred Warner way better than him at? As far as coverage, they neck and neck.
I'm going off the eye test. I'm not even going off stats. I'm going off the eye test. When you watch Fred Warner play, man,
correct.
The man is all over the field. He is a machine, man. I'm not basing it on no stats, man.
Yeah, Fred Warner isn't. He's okay. I'll give Fred Warner okay, but it gotta equate to what is it? What you're saying he does equate it to what?
So what did Matt Milano equate to?
The Bills have been better than the 49ers have been.
Man, the 49ers was in the Super Bowl, man.
The 49ers 100% had an easier role. The NFC was trash when they had that role. Would they do it now? Do you think right now Fred Warner is going to be one of the top linebackers for the NFC? And it's going to equate to him winning. You think they can do it?
I'm not going to say.
Not even close.
Just can't win off the linebacker position.
No, I'm not saying that they can. I'm saying is what he does is going to equate to W's is what I'm asking.
Oh, yeah, I can count some wins to Fred Warner alone, man. Fred Warner.
No way. I disagree. Fred Warner has not ever shown you that he was Aaron Donald type of
Man, what?
He's not that guy. Did he almost win Defensive Player of the Year? Did he ever give those vibes? Has Fred Warner ever?
No, he hasn't won Defensive Player.
And that's the energy you give him right now. That he's that kind of guy.
He is that kind of guy.
He's not that kind of guy.
Man,
He's not that kind of guy.
Chat, man, listen.
Fred Warner is at the back end of great linebackers in the last 10 seasons. You wouldn't put him over any of the actual great people. He's behind all of them. The Luke Kuechly, Patrick Willis, he's nowhere near any of them.
You talking about greats, man. He still got years left on his man.
I'm talking about greats, but I'm talking about people who are just recently great. And the way you're speaking of Fred Warner currently, right now, how you're speaking of him, you giving him that status like he's of a Ray Lewis. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm giving him. Hell yeah.
Not even. Nah.
Man, listen, man.
Listen. What he does is not equating to big time W's. He was in the Super Bowl. Did they win?
No, they ain't win. But look,
do you remember him making a big play?
I actually don't.
You don't.
But he probably was in on multiple big plays.
One of those guys make game-changing plays in the biggest moments. If, in fact, you can't remember him doing that, it's the reason why.
So, what do you feel about Nick Bosa's health?
I believe that Nick Bosa is he was the better defender on that team. Nick Bosa was their best defender. It's just injuries.
No, he was the better. Yeah, I give him that. Yeah, because look, it's easy when your job is to attack the quarterback, right?
Don't tell me it's easier. You was getting ready to say something real foolish.
Yo, listen, a linebacker has to listen. A linebacker either has to blitz. He has multiple jobs on the field. Either he has to cover or he has to blitz. That's two different jobs.
Everybody has multiple jobs. For one, two, Fred Warner is a predominantly coverage linebacker. That is his specialty. He's not blitzing a whole bunch.
So, but you telling me edge rusher has less
equal importance to everybody else on the field has an equal importance to me. So there is no breakdown to this person's more important than that person. I don't think.
No, I'm saying though. So you saying the edge rusher has less duties than a linebacker?
Equal. They have equal duties.
Nah, man, they don't, man. So, yo, listen, edge rushers, all they do is pin their ears back and rush the quarterback, man.
It depends on what kind of linebacker we're talking about. Fred Warner.
You just said he's a cover, right?
That's the dimension he plays.
Okay, so now if they call a blitz, what he got to do? He got to rush the quarterback, and he got to rush the gaps. He got to stop the run.
The plays that he's in calling that blitz, he's not the guy they're looking at to make the play. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's not their guy they're looking at. Now, a tight end going across the middle, they're looking for Fred Warner to get on there and stop that play. That's his play. Tight end go across the middle. We got short digs, you dragging, you going under, you 5 and out, anything like Fred is on that. But a blitz or something like that nature,
all right, so look,
you're not expecting Fred to be. Greenlaw was sticking his helmet in there. Greenlaw was putting his helmet in there.
We already said Fred Warner had 131 tackles, right? He only had 1 sack. 5 tackles for losses.
Prove my point, correct?
5 tackles for losses.
That
means he's shooting gaps on he's run protection too. He has 5 tackles.
That's not a lot. So out of 130 tackles, only 5 of them were for a loss. That proves my point that he's tackling in coverage. Out in
four forced fumbles and 1 touchdown. Interception, 70 yards.
As big as he is, he's tackling smaller guys because most pass catchers are smaller. You got to think of what you're saying.
I know what I'm saying.
He's playing in that gets those stats. He's going to be playing in coverage. He's getting a lot of tackles after the line of scrimmage. He's getting a lot of tackles on tight ends, on pass catchers. He's going to get a lot of tackles. Across the middle, those numbers match up to that. He's not getting a lot of sacks. He doesn't have a lot of tackles for loss. I would prefer my linebacker to be balanced more in those areas. And that's just me personally, especially if we're talking about greatness. Like how you're speaking of how great it's not enough going on there for me to say that. But I respect him as a coverage linebacker. Top 3.
Nah, you don't respect Fred, man.
As a coverage linebacker, yes. But everything else is average with him. Or below average if you want to. It's average. he doesn't scare running backs.
What?
Not at all. He's
moving right along, chat.
He's more scary to a tight end and what he can do in coverage with his size and his speed than he is to a running back. Those running backs see Fred Warner when they come around there, and they're going to put a move on him.
Yo, how we even get back to Fred Warner? We have moved on to Nick Bosa, man. He wanted to go back to Fred Warner.
Nick Bosa, because there's not much to talk about with Nick, but we didn't move on to Nick Bosa.
Yes, we did.
Nick is injured. He's no longer what he used to be, and that's that. There is no more Nick for real. Fred is to talk about. I have zero hopes that Nick Bosa is going to be this huge factor. None of the above.
You don't think so?
Not at all.
I don't know what it is about them edge rushers, man. They stay injured, man.
Well, it's the elite ones. When you play at the level he play at,
they stay injured.
Bending and cutting and around those edges, fighting those strong guys. What they say is the biggest, strongest guys on the field, trying to get through that every play.
The man had 15.
At it.
The man had 15 tackles for losses, man. The man is a problem.
Absolute beast.
The man is an absolute beast, man. 9 sacks.
Real life scary. And that's all numbers where that's a less than him. That's 15
Yeah, he only played 14 games.
9 sacks in a less than season for him.
So they lost Leonard Floyd. We know Leonard Floyd is on a back 9.
Yeah, he's a one and out kind of guy. He did a 1-year deal with us. He, doing those probably for the rest of the year as long as he got something left.
Yeah, I like Nick McLeod. I don't know.
They got a bunch of guys that waited their turn. It's a couple guys on that San Francisco team that was behind those bigger names that they used to have. So they got a couple names.
And what's so crazy is, like,
if I'm not mistaken, the McLeod guy the Bills had, and he went and got him a contract.
Yeah.
Safety?
Yo, George Kittle didn't really have a bad season last year.
He never does. Too productive. He's too strong. He does too much. And he's in the game every play. Because he blocks. Elite at both. He's in the game every play.
Yeah, he had over 1,000 yards. He had 8 tubs. It ain't seem like that, though.
As much as I love Travis Kelce, George Kittle is more my kind of tight end. As much as I love Travis Kelce.
But he's not. Listen, last season, we already know Travis Kelce had a down year. But prior, no tight end was more productive than Travis Kelce. Period.
No, he's just not my kind of tight end. Travis Kelce is all finesse. And
he is
a pass catcher.
No, he is a finesse.
Trying to get dirty.
Yeah. No.
My kind of
I like George Kittle, though.
I need to be able to put my tight end as an extra offensive lineman.
He like contact. George Kittle. 100%. Yeah, he love contact.
And his catch in traffic, his contact catch, his catch in the middle of something going on, strong hand. Very reliable. Like I said, Kelce and him always been neck and neck to me. They just do it different. One pretty and one gritty. That's how I always looked at Kelce and Kittle. The K's, it's a lot they got in common. KK. The gritty and the pretty, We all know Kelce want to be pretty doing it. He will much rather be Mr. Finesse, show up fly, leave fly, not a scratch on him. Kittle is okay with leaving blood coming out his eye. You know what I mean? Jersey ripped a little bit, dirt all over. He okay with that. My kind of guy. So him playing in an offense that was down and he still was up, I respect it. I get it. We can expect that from him. If he go hard for it.
I just think I'm looking at this roster chat, man. I still think like I said, I believe they took a few steps back, but I still think they have a solid core, man. I just do, man.
We'll see. It's a lot of names. They are on paper team as far as the defense is concerned. But the offense is just completely out of there. So
last year, man.
Listen. In that division with no offense.
Last year, it seemed like every week they was losing. It was like they was like jinx last season, man.
I just don't see that offense being able to compete in that division. I just don't.
Nah, they can't. So what? All right. So how do you expect Brandon Ayuk to return? At what percent?
I like Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I love Brandon Ayuk.
He's underrated as one of my just a pure route runner, pass catcher. Brandon Ayuk is up there.
So you think if Brandon Ayuk come back, let's just say 80%, 75%,
I think he gives you what any receiver could give you without, being too high or too low. I think Brandon Ayuk at anything over 70%, I think he come in 1,000+ yards, 10+ touchdowns. And I would say he falls in the realm of a 75, 80 catch guy because he don't drop the ball.
All right, chat. So look, right? So you already know Sonny Boulevard got the 49ers finishing last. I got them finishing second in the division. So last but not least, man, the Los Angeles Rams.
Greatest show on turf, huh? Still holding up the name. What we think?
Nah, I don't think they still holding. At one point they did though. At one point, the Rams was like, yo, that Super Bowl year, we was like, yo, this is why they traded for Matthews. At the point, I ain't gonna lie. At that time, I'm like, I knew that Matthew Stafford was a better quarterback than Jared Goff, but I didn't understand why the Rams came off of Jared Goff at such a young age, and Matthew Stafford was already an age. He was an age veteran. I didn't understand the trade at first, even though I knew Matthew Stafford was a better quarterback.
I feel like Matthew Stafford it's iffy on his whole career. It's been very iffy, man. I've never seen somebody that looked like it was all over with, and it's almost like he changed bodies and then started as a new guy.
But if you watch Matthew Stafford, I know, Chad, a lot of people ain't watched Detroit because they was terrible. But if you watch Matthew Stafford, man, even in Detroit, you could see that he had elite qualities at the quarterback position.
Well, as far as his arm talent was never in question.
Yeah,
never in question. He didn't find Calvin the way he did as many times as he did because he don't have no arm talent. So I'll give Matthew Stafford that. Easily the best quarterback in this division, arguably the best in the league.
Yeah,
as far as arm talent.
Yeah, no, I like Matthew
Easily
Stafford.
the best in the division, arguably going for the best arm talent in the league.
No, I believe he got listen. He solidified that with that no-look pass in the Super Bowl.
Of the ball.
Yeah, nah.
Might be number one.
Yeah, that's a fact. He solidified. When he did that no-look pass in the Super Bowl, I was like, yo, it's just, who would do that in that moment, man? That was, listen, the Super Bowl is the biggest stage of all time. The man did something that's forbidden. He threw the ball without looking, man.
I know Matthew Stafford was still locked in last year at Bills-Rams when him and Josh went neck and neck. He was looking at young demon Josh in his eyes and saying, oh, yeah, we get that ball. Loading it up, grabbing his helmet, and getting right back out there. I could tell, like, okay, Matt's still super locked in.
Nah, he locked
in. Going at it with the youngest demon in the league right now. At the quarterback spot, as another quarterback, Josh is your end-all, be-all. Like, playing Josh, competing against Josh is, yo. So, Matthew Stafford going toe-to-toe with Josh the way he did, I think they got us 48, 44.
Man, that game was.
Oh, that was a real definition of the old school shootouts we used to see where I
was mad at the Bills
I can't say the defenses weren't playing good. It was just the quarterbacks was locked in. You can't say the Rams defense just wasn't playing good or the Bills defense looked. When you watch it back, that's not what you see.
And I lost money on that game, man.
So I would have to say Matthew Stafford, man. I got to give it to him. The pieces that the Rams added off of him, they came 3 offensive linemen and a top receiver.
Do you think Matthew Stafford is still going to be highly productive this season?
As long as Matthew Stafford play, he's Matthew Stafford.
So you think he's not going to take a big dip like Aaron Rodgers?
No, he's still. Matthew Stafford somehow seems to have taken a couple years off his agent.
Yeah, because we done seen some big fall-offs in 1 year. You be like, yo, what happened?
We got to give credit to Sean McVay, too. He's one of the younger leaders.
Yeah.
That's Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes-esque. McVay, Stafford is Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. That's in that realm. It's kind of like Sirianni, Hurts. It's those two names that, you know what I mean? They got that going on.
Yeah.
And McVay definitely doing something to where he done took a couple years off of him.
So, what do you think about the health of Puka Nacua?
Puka good to go. I hate
Still
to break
young.
it,
You
but
think he can bounce
I'm not
back?
sure his nationality, Hawaiian island of some sort. He's good to go.
Think
They
so?
got different kind of bones, man. He gonna be all right. Guarantee you. Honestly, just want to say, Tapuka, you way better than I thought you was, bro. I have to give it to you. As far as right now, 1-on-1, I got Puka against anybody. It's not a corner in the league. He not gonna get his off. He's bigger than you think he is. He can catch better than you think he can. His route running is a lot more elite than you think. Puka is everything more than what you thought.
No, I like Puka, man.
Them moving on from Cooper was the solidifier. Though. They were
Yeah, I
happy
can't
with
believe they
go
moved
ahead.
off their triple crown though. Can't
When
believe it.
when Puka is as good as he, that you have to.
I don't think Sean McVay in the Los Angeles Rams expected Puka Nacua to be this good when they drafted him. I honestly
I don't
don't.
think they expected him. They didn't
Yeah,
draft him as a one.
yeah, nah,
They
they
drafted him to me. Definitely, they drafted him as a
yeah,
as a two.
he overachieved, man, and he's really nice. But uh, Matthew Stafford, right? He was
It,
efficient last year. 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, but the offensive line he was sacked 28 times.
what is Puka Nakua's injury? Do you know that off the top? I
Then
don't
he
even know
tears.
what's
It
his
was his
injury.
knee, right?
Okay, if it's a leg injury and it's going to hinder that speed, I'm not sure. Because
Yeah,
I
I
do believe
believe.
that everything he does is predicated off
I
speed
believe
at
it's a
that
knee
top.
injury. I'm not sure if he tore anything. I'm not sure if it's a sprain, but it definitely was a leg
But
injury.
they was saying that Puka Nakua was the Hawaiian Julio.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about. I don't know about a whole. What is that?
Julio Jones.
Oh,
Hawaiian
Julio
Julio.
Jones.
That's how he played. Well, he's bigger than you think he is. 6'2" and
He
a
ain't
half,
big as
6'3",
Julio
man.
Jones. I'm not
He's
saying he
six
don't
two and
play
a
like it.
half, 6'3". Puka Nakua is a big guy.
Word. He
Yeah,
don't
he's
seem
way
like
bigger
it,
than you
man.
thought he was.
He seems small, man.
No, 6'2", 6'2", easy 6'2".
He ain't no Julio Jones inside though. They wildin'.
It's more of how he plays. He attack at the top of the catch. He
Yeah, nah, Puka.
separate.
Yo,
And
listen,
how
he.
he play, man. Puka Nakua definitely can give you vibes like he was watching some Julio Jones tape. He was copying off Julio. He's Julio-esque. He's doing Julio-like things. I like it. You throw Devontae in there and help him get more one-on-ones? No telling. I believe Matthew Stafford getting ready to have a lot of fun with a Devontae Adams.
Yo, I think Devontae Adams gonna have a comeback year this year. I really
Because
do,
of the
man.
quarterback and the coach he got. He's stepping
Yeah,
into
yeah.
perfection. I want to say perfect. There isn't a better. Now, they're arguable to be equal, but better than the
Just
combination between McVay and Stafford. I don't know that there's anything better.
look. That's Odell Beckham after he left the Giants. That was the only team where he was showing some type of progression. Is what Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Man, the man was about to win Super Bowl MVP if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, because the Ravens carried him. He just got over being on a great roster.
Like he ain't
He
like.
didn't exist with the
So
Ravens.
I
Odell,
believe.
that is. So I would give Sean McVay that young elite mind 1,000,000% right now.
So yeah, I believe Devontae Adams is definitely gonna have a bounce back because he still got. I don't. Devontae Adams ain't had no serious injury in his career, did he? I think he's
I don't
been.
know about serious. No,
Yeah, no, I
he
don't
has
think.
lingering. He
Yeah,
has lingering.
he don't have no serious.
A few different injuries that linger a little bit, but I don't remember a big ACL, MCL, Achilles, nothing like that.
And let's not forget, Devontae Adams was once the top receiver in the league not too long ago, man.
Devontae Adams, I want people to know, Devontae Adams is still currently considered
The top
in certain
receiver.
conversations easily. He's still considered.
So just
It's
think what he
because
going.
his route running, it's still a certain level of elite. He's still above the rest.
So think you pair him with Matthew Stafford, and then they got a solid running game with Karen
Great offensive
Williams.
line.
Yo, listen.
That defense is young as it could possibly get and as solid as they can get everywhere.
The
And one
Rams
thing
almost
is,
they
Sean
almost beat
McVay
Philly.
they got a great defense.
Yeah, they was right on the precipice of beating Philly in that playoff game, man. We having a different conversation.
Philly was just a player ahead. I don't think it was a coach. I don't think it was a quarterback. I think it was very simply that Philly roster just had one more name more than LA. LA was a name short, and I believe that Devontae Adams can move that needle. If
He
we
might.
move the needle and just being an extra name to balance it out, it would have been one hell of a game. Eagles Rams plus Devontae.
Chat, I'm trying to see where.
Because I don't
Go
believe
ahead,
that
Sonny.
either
Let
of
me
those
find
young
something real
defensive
quick.
backs will be able to hold Devontae. Cooper DeJean or what's Quinyon Mitchell? Is that his name?
From what position?
Cornerback, the Eagles, the two young ones, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, right?
Yo, DeJean and that Blankenship kid is the same.
Blankenship is a vet though.
Yeah, Blankenship is what?
Blankenship is a vet, but them two young ones, I don't believe that they would have been able to hold them, Devontae Adams. Yeah,
Let me see,
Blankenship
chat.
stepped in and did his thing. I think Blankenship came from where? The Titans?
Who, Blankenship?
Come from? Did he come from Miami? He came from somewhere. Where did Blankenship come from?
No, I think you're right. I think he did come from Tennessee. I'm pretty sure. I want to say the Jet, but I think it's Tennessee. I think you hit it right on the head, man. But Blankenship is nice, man. He is. Hold on, chat. I'm trying to find something for y'all real quick, man. I'm trying to see where the hell.
Yep. He was the hometown kid because he went to college at.
I'm trying to see where the Rams defense was ranked last year, man. Because I believe
he got drafted to the Eagles. I didn't know that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, Reed Blankenship got drafted to the Eagles in 2022. We thinking of another guy.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
See how many brothers and you know what I mean is in the NFL. You never know.
Hold on, Chad. I'm almost there for you, man. So we can bring this episode to a close, man. Let me see the Rams. Come on, NFL.com. Y'all playing games, man. So that I ain't even know, the Denver Broncos had the top ranked defense last year. The Houston Texans was second.
They got the defensive player of the year.
I thought Philly had the top defense, man.
Maybe in certain metrics as a whole they did, but Denver defensive line with Allen, and then you come with the cornerback, defensive player of the year.
And that's crazy because Sean Payton is an offensive mind. You would have never thought his defense would have been solid. That's a fact. Yeah, child, I can't find it right now, man.
Drafted well. Denver drafted very well. And then threw Sean into a bunch of names that just needed to be carved up. They had the core. Sean just came over to give it some form.
Oh,
Denver looked damn good.
He pulled the Steve Kerr.
There we go.
Okay, the Baltimore Ravens was ranked number 4.
Identity. They got a lot of the same names. They moved a few pieces around and got them a coach that know what it's supposed to look like. So yeah.
Sonny, let me in the chat know who did the Rams, and they have any defensive additions while I look up their defensive ranking, because they look like they falling behind.
Defensively, the Rams did a couple of things.
They ranked 17th overall in the league in defensive ranking.
They add a bunch of names? No. But they did add Poona Ford and Nate Landman. See, Nate Landman, to me, was a great linebacker for the Falcons. He was in a position where the roster wasn't doing great, but Landman looked real good for the Falcons, linebacker. They added Darian Kendrick. And a name that I believe is going to end up making a difference, and I'm sad about it because I believe he went to a team where it's just a perfect situation for him to become great.
Yeah.
And that's the Sean Dolak from UB. The linebacker from UB, Sean Dolak. Amazing, number 52, amazing middle linebacker. Playing for, a mid-major school like UB. D1, but mid-major school like UB. Playing in the MAC conference, but going super hard, making a name for himself. Was an undrafted free agent. Was an undrafted player. I think it's a huge thing that LA got him. That's all I can say. Buffalo didn't get him. Him going to one of those teams that just win. They just create great football players, and he's already that. So I'm a little sad about that they were able to get him. But they added a lot of pieces to fill in.
So do you think the Rams are Super Bowl contenders?
I'm going to have to say yes, because they were last year. And I don't think they got worse.
Yeah, nah. I
I would
think
have to say yes.
yeah, nah. I think the Rams gonna hit their head on the wall.
Anytime you lead your division, you automatically get the nod on the Super Bowl thing because you're guaranteed that spot in the playoffs. So, because I believe they're guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, I would have to say they are Super Bowl contenders. For sure.
Yeah, nah, me too, man.
And right now, nobody in that division is going to scare them. They got too much strength.
No, man.
Devontae Adams right now might be the best receiver in the division. You know, so
yeah, nah, I gotta go with that.
he comes over as that. You know what I'm saying? He starts out. He ain't played a game in his division yet. And he's the top receiver in the division starting now. So Marvin Harrison Jr., you know, a lot of people argue, but just young. You know, we're not going to argue him and Devontae. You know.
So chat. That's the NFC West for you, man. We got to cover the AFC West and our power rankings. And you already know by the time we do that, it'll be the start of preseason. Sonny, let the chat know when is the first Hall of Fame? When is the Hall of Fame game?
The Hall of Fame game, July 31st.
July 31st.
Lions Chargers.
This month, chat.
We're going to talk about that too. It's a little something going on. Even though it's not, don't count for nothing. We do believe that it's two teams that they come to set the bar high. You know, I believe the Lions got a lot to prove, even though this game won't count anytime they're seen on the field. They got something to prove. That's how they exited. July 31st going to be the first actual football contact, actual real thing. We in the month of. I've been saying football is here. You know, it's here. We talking about it. We engulfed in it. We fully doused in it already. As much as we can get. We drowning in it like we like to be. So it's here. It's here. Anything you want to talk about, anything you want to express, anything you need to let me or Fresher know, put it in the comments.
There you go.
We're creating a space for you to come talk about it. It's coming. Write it down. Remember it. You don't got to forget it. You don't got to feel like it won't be heard. We're giving you the space. I promise you, you're going to get to say whatever it is you want to say. Put it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, comment. That's how we get where we're trying to go. We appreciate y'all, man. I'm back. I'm happy to be back. Those who was looking for me, just you know how things be happening, chat. That's all it is. But I'm back. I'm happy to be back. Hopefully y'all happy that I'm back. I know Fresher happy I'm back, man. Talking to herself for a while. Getting it done, though. You know, y'all still keeping them flowing, but happy to be back, man. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Not for Loser Sports Podcast, man. We love y'all.
Man, you already know that's our closing, man.